Folks, it is Thanksgiving week, the most sacred week if you're a fan of football and if you're a fan of gambling. Really nothing to do over the next 96 hours than be the diamond gem mining guy. Get deep down in there like the mines of Moria. We are going to try and get all of the value we can extract from Thanksgiving NFL DFS on Underdog Battle Royales. We're going to run the Sims, Nerdy Tenor, Brian Hooper. Let's solve fantasy football. It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer. All right, boys. We need to delve deep. We need to mine, but not too greedily. We cannot go too greedily for the 3-game slate. My God, it is going to be great. We've got the Lions. We've got a team that is actively giving up the New York Giants, which I think will be very interesting. I actually think, Dan, I've already done 15 of these, and I kind of had I put my no ball hat on this morning, and I was like, oh, you got to fade the Giants, dude. You got to fade the Giants. They don't care. They're mutinying on their coach. But what if they don't? And what if all the no ballers fade the Giants and they try really hard? And the math bros are right. So I've already gone in and out. We've got some beautiful, relaxing music. I kind of like it.
We scheduled this kind of late, so my wife is practicing. Yeah, she's couldn't move that, but
please allow her to keep doing it. I like it. It's nice and relaxing.
Wow, no, it's more that I'm allowed to do this because that needs to happen. So 3-gamer, really fun for people who haven't drafted the small slates. There are these 2-gamers that are quite regular. They do Thursday night, Sunday night. Then they'll do Sunday night, Monday night, and then they'll do Monday night, Thursday night. And the dynamics are very different than the main BRs because scarcity at position becomes quite salient when there's very few players to choose from. I think three games kind of has a sweet spot where there's a fair bit of that dynamic, but it's also, we were talking before, it's much harder to just get completely screwed in a draft where you're like, in a 2-gamer, it's like, oh, I'm going to take these 2 receivers from the same team and hope nobody grabs the quarterback. And then half the time they grab the quarterback and that team is hosed, right? But that kind of thing doesn't happen as often when you got 3 games. So excited to get in there. I did a few this morning. I know you did too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to learn as much as I can. I am gonna max the turkey, which, by the way, if you are an underdog bro or not an underdog bro and you're wanting to start, I mean, I'm not saying you're gonna win this week, but it's probably the best tournament you could max enter to begin with because it is rake free, and it's the only one that is rake free. All the other contests have rake turned on, but the rake is 0%.
That's awesome. I didn't even notice that. Yeah. I thought you were going to go like it's going to be one of the softest tournaments because nobody has anything to do and they don't know how to draft for 3 gamers.
And so that's probably true. A lot of people, you are going to get a prevalence of phone shitter bros this week, of just guys who toss in 5 entries because it's in the lobby and they want to. But yeah, this is a 0% rate contest, so every dollar that's entered is distributed out. And yeah, I mean, look, there is, if you're watching this and you've never gotten an underdog before, use the link in the description of this podcast or this video and go check it out. But yeah, rake free. I would get in. Brian, do you have any thoughts before we get in here? Any observations? Have you done any of these yet?
No, I haven't done anything. The observation is, as was listening to Dan talk about the how it's, there's scarcity at positions. These 3-gamers is kind of where a tool like this, I don't know if the word shines is the right word, but like it definitely, because like if you look at a lot of the tools they have out now, I think like the larger the field and like the more you could pick between lineups, the less useful it becomes, kind of. Not to say that they're not useful.
I agree with that. I think that's true because yeah, when you have a lot of options in any particular choice point, like how many ways can you say, like, mix it up between different choices or go against ownership if people are grabbing the wrong thing? Whereas here it's very like, I do this, and then if he does that, then I am screwed. But if he does this other thing, like there's all of this, it's much narrower focused.
And like when Davis pivots off one of the suggestions from the sim, this is kind of like another reason why I hate that he does that, is because the sim is looking at the opponent's lineups and what's left and what's available. And you might not be thinking, through all the variations of like, this is why. It's not just because Cardi likes Kamara. It's actually looking at all the which is what you want from a really good tool, right? Is to take all this into account and go like, no, we're going to make this weird pick here because there's so much of this left or whatever it may be. It's just way more obvious in these 3 gamers.
Yeah, you see this a lot too. And another thing to keep in mind is, we talked about this a few weeks ago. The source of your EV is a little bit different in this kind of a contest versus the main BR. So like the main BR
from your opponent's messing up.
Yeah, you get much more EV in these from your opponents just punting it off. Like someone takes a quarterback as at the 1-1 in one of these.
Yeah. They
have just ceded EV to everyone else in the room. Of course, you have to worry that it doesn't get voided, but whereas in the main BR, it's just like you're just hoping on average your lineups are enough better than everyone else's, and you're getting enough different combos that your plus EV here you can have 5 drafts in a row, or it's all like kind of break even, and the 6th one you just get this like smashing lineup that's super weird combo and way too high projected. So it is different, and
yeah, I mean, it makes tons of sense, right? Like in a regular BR, whatever, let's say you don't take the tight end, and then like 5 minutes you're like, oh my god, I should have totally taken that tight end in that one round. You still probably have decent options left. There's still probably a tight end in the 6th round who's not that bad. They're all, there's somebody. And your EV, you lose, instead of, $11 EV, it's $7.25 or something. But I mean, it's because, I just really think figuring out what a tool is benefiting you is just interesting and fun. And it's much easier to see here where you can't really see it, Davis, you know what I mean? When you're doing the BRs, where maybe it's taking that tight end that you're not thinking about because of some other reasons behind the scene.
I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent. I think you could not, your edge in a 3-game slate, in this slate or a primetime blues or whatever, would be smaller with perfect projections than it would be in a main BR. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Ball knowledge and knowing where the projections are right or wrong in a main BR, super useful. Having opinions, super useful. Taking stances, super useful. Less useful in this. Obviously, I guess perfect knowledge of projections. You just draft the nuts every time in this because you would probably be able to do it. But this is not that main BR is not a theory contest, but this is like a pure exercise in game theory, more or less.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, kind of my point is that the main BRs, the tool isn't as useful. That's what I started out with. But still, like, first of all, what we would do there is just adjust the inputs to whatever your ball knowing take is, and then redo it. And then you would truly just use the tool. We're not doing that because we're doing it this other way, but you would assume that'd be baked in. And then, but I mean, still, like it's hard. My point is, even in the BRs, it's hard to see where the tool is going. Do this because of other things later, what your opponents have done.
Right. Yeah. It's like steering. It's almost like the main BRs. You're like steering a ship, and you're making these like small moves that take, that sort of point you generally in the right direction, and then move a little. But here, it's like sharp turns, lots of sharp lefts and right.
And it just makes it that much more obvious, which is what I like. But I want that to like get into Davis's head for BRs too. And to like recap last week, we do need to redo the ADP projections, obviously, because it was based off of DraftKings, and we're getting
yeah, we were like, why are we getting so many 3 wide receiver combos?
See, this is we gotta punish these bum hunters. We're punishing these bum hunters, these stream snipers.
Easy, your wife must be a very happy lady. The thumbnail, I was very happy. I was very happy with the thumbnail.
Wait, I gotta look at this thumbnail.
It's Dan as Agent Q from the Daniel Craig Bonds.
Okay.
All right.
Was that John Cleese? Who was?
No, it's some.
No, that wasn't it.
That's earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, is the tool up and running?
Yeah, we got enough. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'm in there. Draft number 1 begins.
Now, a few things we're going to notice that I noticed is that so first of all, projections are not out everywhere. I have 3 sets, but I'm missing a couple. So generally, the things I noticed first off is that it doesn't like Jahmyr Gibbs as much as the field. So it thinks Gibbs should be going. Let me see what I just recomputed it. It likes Gibbs 4th, but he's like going 2nd. So just keep that in mind. Might want to just override that a few times. Projections are fragile. We might get them anyway. But
why don't we just juice the projections and have him projected as the 2nd highest running back behind Achane? We don't have to do it for this run.
Okay.
But let's do that for the next run.
Okay.
Because that, I think, is both accurate and will also lead to you having exposures that do not allow you to be exploited by your opponents if they're wrong. Like if you you should not draft 150 teams and not draft Jahmyr Gibbs.
Probably not. Oh, I gotta start a draft. Well, yeah. So,
does it like Achane or St. Brown first?
So right now, it likes Achane first.
You're not going to complain about that, Davis, are you?
I'm going to let the computer tell me what to do, man. Because I don't have strong opinions on this. I really don't.
Well, and you love it.
I mean, there's back to the philosophy thing too. Like how much do you care if you just disagree with the field about something? When do you lean into it, and when do you say, what, maybe they know something that I don't know?
It would have to be a strong conviction thing. It would be a strong conviction that Jahmyr Gibbs should not be the 4th player. Like, I think pretty strong conviction he should probably be the 2nd player. I'd hear an argument for 3rd with St. Brown going ahead of him, but
this kind of dovetails on something I wanted to talk about. Barkley.
Oh, God, more Barkley as if
when was he going, Davis, in BRs? Wasn't it like 10, 9, 10, or 8 or something?
In the Battle Royale.
BBMs.
Oh, no, he was going in like the middle of the 2nd round.
Okay. Well, then he won't really apply. But I was thinking, I thought he was going like 9th or something for some reason.
No, that was Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson.
But even mid-2nd, this won't be as greatest thought experiment. Well, let's do our pick here, I guess.
Yeah.
These are going to go fast.
They go very quickly. Achane, Gibbs, St. Brown, Lamb, Reek, Montgomery. It's funny how there isn't ADP, but drafts still kind of all go the same. It's just so funny.
Okay, we've got a lot of options at this node. So DJ Moore, It's
What
current-
you should have like a breaking point of when it's $2 more than
It's
everyone
like-
else.
but there's going to be lots of mixing. So in this kind of contest, there's going to be a lot of mixing. So like, it's got Jordan Love, Tyrone Tracy, DJ Moore, Jared Goff.
I took
You took
more.
more.
So this is the kind of I'm running the next one. So now it's saying Tyrone Tracy. It's saying one of the running backs, Tracy or Dowdle. It likes Tracy a little bit better.
All right. Well, here will be. I think Dowdle should be projected for more points than Tracy because I don't think the projections are going to account for the fact that yesterday the Giants played 3 running backs for the first time in the last month. And I'm gonna guess the projections have Eric Gray for like 1 point, if any points, and I think he should be getting a hair more.
Okay. Yeah, these run quickly enough that I can tweak projections and start over and run.
That is fine, but I do think we should tweak Gibbs up.
Yeah.
Just a hair.
Okay, I can do that after this.
So
now I can hear someone at home going, well, that's the point. Gibbs is being overprojected or Gibbs is being overdrafted relative to his projection. That's the edge, fading Gibbs. And I'm like, I'm just telling you guys, I don't want my Thanksgiving to be ruined when Jahmyr Gibbs gets 27 in the first game and I have 150 dead turkey teams that I can't even sweat.
Yeah, and it depends how hard you're willing to push. You got to gauge, like, how big is, let's say you're convinced that there is an edge there. Like, how big is it?
Yes, this is exactly what I wanted to talk about with Barkley.
Yeah,
It's very similar.
Yeah, how big of an edge is it really? And you can say, I'm going to push any edge. I don't care. That's a perfectly reasonable approach, but not everybody wants to do that. Yeah. So plus our projections are early, so they could just be wrong. Okay, we picked Love. Okay, we got Jameson Williams. Who's currently winning. Yeah.
Does the computer know we get back-to-back picks here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then I'm very curious if it tells us to take Goff or if it thinks that we'll wait because the Glitcher 23 might not take him.
Okay, let's see. So it's saying a lot of things. It's saying Kraft, Laporta, Goff at the moment. And Goff is winning, so it thinks Goff now. But
Okay. I mean, I think that would be the logical.
Yeah, it's mixing there too. So we're going to see lots of mixed nodes. And I was going to say, like, this kind of contest, especially anytime you have smaller number of possibilities, like a contest like this versus main slate BR, you're going to see far more mixed strategies. Because in a main BR, like, you'll see them for different reasons, but oftentimes they'll just be like an obvious, really good guy that's left. Whereas here, that's often never going to happen in a draft, or if your opponents are drafting well, where like you could take any of these 3 receivers. You could take a receiver or like you'll see quite a bit of that. So like I would be careful not to get backed into a spot where I'm just doing the same thing every time for like no reason.
Right. No, that's really good advice. That's very, very good advice.
It's really easy to do in this specific kind of contest. I would say more so.
It becomes
it
becomes that you do it by rote. You're like, oh, this happens, then this happens, and this happens, and you get that in main BR too a little bit. But in main BR, you could argue that's almost even good, where you don't start pressing the bad plays just because you're bored. Okay. I assume it's going to want to take Laporta.
It says Laporta, yes.
All right. Team number 1, you guys just watched the 20K team get drafted. Devon Achane, DJ Moore, Rico Dowdle, Jameson Williams, Jared Goff, and Sam Laporta. Now here
after a second team too.
Oh, I'd just be splitting my own. just be splitting my own EV, but I guess we can.
No, if you take first and second, you'll make more money.
Here's a question, Brian. Then we can discuss your Barkley point.
I'm gonna start getting the adjusted projection for Gibbs ready.
Okay. Are we trying to account for dupes at all inside of the sim, where that team we drafted very easily dupable? Is there extra EV basically by drafting Tommy DeVito and Cooper Rush, who are going to get not drafted in many of these? Like basically Giants and Cowboys players are going to have much higher undrafted rates than Lions, Bears, Packers, and Dolphins. They project much worse, but is there an EV gain in drafting players from those teams because the dupe risk goes down, or is that too galaxy brain?
No, that makes sense. But Dan's is doing dupes in the background.
Okay.
So it should, in theory, know what the equilibrium rate of these lineups are, and now you're right. Like from a exploitative angle, his sim probably isn't going to be as dupey as some of these really popular combos for sure, because everyone's anchored to the same thing with BRs and what we've talked about before, where if everyone's taking these combos and we could see it in the ADPs and stuff, you should probably just fade them. So yeah, from an exploitative standpoint, I think you're right. I don't know if you want to take that chance though. And like, you got to be really sure that those combos are definitely overowned though, Davis.
Yeah. I mean, it does. This is kind of true. It does kind of break my brain that these 2-game PTPs do not chop more often. And in fact, we have a 2-game PTP winner in the chat. Artillery Frost won last week's Monday, Thursday, Primetime Blues, the Jameis Winston slate. So shout out to him. Brian, what were you wanting to say about Mr. Barkley?
What's the average you could take in BBM of a player? Isn't it like 8.3% or something? What is?
Yeah, 8.3%.
8.3%. So like if Barkley was the consensus number 1 overall, let's just say for shits and gigs, you're going to get him 8.3% of the time, and then all the times like donkeys don't take him first and you have the second pick, or they don't take him first and second and you have the third pick. So whatever that could possibly be. And like the point being is Barkley was in the second round, but if he was in the first round, I mean, how much can you realistically get of those high projected guys?
You can get a lot. I had 25% of Jefferson, who was the 6th pick, because I took him ahead.
Right, which is not really that high. I mean, that's a lot, and that's still not even that high. You know what I mean? But
let me tell you, after he had 1 catch for 7 yards yesterday, it feels pretty high. Feels a smidge high.
Way too high. He's due though, Davis. He's due.
Oh my God, no one is more due. Dan, I don't know if you still have it pulled up, but Easy was asking if we had the EVs on those teams.
Which one? Sorry, I've been editing files.
The Achane, DJ Moore, Rico Dowdle, Jameson Williams, Jared Goff, Laporta team.
Oh, the last one. It was just over par. It's like $6.05 or something.
And keep in mind, this is rake free, so that's pure profit, baby. We're not splitting that with anyone.
This factors in the rake. That already factors in the rake.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just looking at the payout table, which already has the rake baked in.
So Brian, what is the what is the point of what you're saying? Maybe I'm missing it about Barkley.
Well, what you kind of what we were talking about before, where you have to have like a huge stand on a guy to get a ton of ownership, like to get 60% Justin Jefferson. You would have had to have like the mortal lock. Everyone's doing this wrong. I'm taking him 1 through 7 every single time, and you still probably wouldn't have got 60%.
No, yeah, because
what is it? 888, that's the most you can get, right? Whatever that is, 6 times 8.
well, 100% is the most you could get.
But you can't because other people are taking them.
Sure. Yeah. No, you're right. Well, let me tell you, I wish I could trade some of these Justin Jefferson teams for Saquon Barkley teams.
Now, like a 6th rounder or a 10th rounder or something, now you can start getting 60, 70% of a guy. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying it's way more realistic.
Well, and it's way more realistic that the field would actually be that wrong about a 6th
The field would be that wrong, and you can like make moves without being totally crazy and take him in the 7th when he's in 10th. That's not the end of the world.
Yes.
And you get those opportunities a lot more than when someone is like a top 15 pick.
Correct. Yeah.
So like, I don't know. That's what I was saying is like when somebody up high goes off, it's like, yeah, what are you going to do? You're just going to fucking lock button the 15th overall guy at number 1 overall.
The thing is you could have gotten 100% Saquon. In fact, let's
that's not my fucking point, Tim. Right? Like I fucking it pisses me off. It's like I made 1,000 fucking caveats explaining that he was in the 2nd round. I get it, but if he was higher, that was the whole fucking point.
Someone got to 80 Barkley teams. So just so no one in the pool, only one user in the entire pool got over 50% of the whole pool. Because
that's kind of crazy up there.
I mean, the whole like, could you have gotten to X thing is like not really useful information. Like you could get to freaking anything you want.
I don't think you can even up there. Like,
well, I mean, you could get a lot, but why do you want to? Again, I could imagine a scenario where like maybe the difference between the players drafted 1 through 7, let's say, is very small, and you think one of them should be first, and nobody else is doing that, so you always get him if you're drafting 1st through 7th. Now you could do that, but it's going to be a very small edge. Like if you're right, it is an edge. I mean, you're getting this guy earlier than he should go, but if it's like some fraction of a point, like I don't know. I don't know if I would, because I'm lazy. I like to just do whatever my process says. But like, honestly, it's probably not worth pushing that tiny of a event.
It's
just not worth.
You kind of reiterated exactly what I was saying. Like that's my point. Is like, why even worry about Saquon Barkley going off? You're never fucking taking him number 1 overall every time. No one's doing that. Why even bother? Now, if it was a 10th rounder and you were like, damn, I really liked him. If I would have taken him from the 7th round on, yeah, you could have got 60, 70, 80% or something. But like up high like that, like give me a break. Why is anyone FOMOing?
Hirsch 47 had 128 Alvin Kamara teams, so shout out to him.
Nice. All right, well, I've successfully adjusted the Gibbs projection.
What's the highest? Who's got the highest? 150 of somebody.
Oh, 150 of somebody?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are users who took a guy 150
the last round every time or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I would assume that those people largely drafted bad and have bad roster construction. Like it is funny. I mean, you guys are not enough in the weeds to know this, but there's this guy, hit him with the gritty 18, who drafted like every nut player like Barkley, Henry, Kamara, but his wide receiver 1s are like the worst dog shit imaginable. But it doesn't even matter. It does not matter at all, because that's just the way the year is gone. But and he, like, it's just, Chase Claypool who's a total 0. I think he has like 87% of him or something, but it doesn't matter, because it's a game of finding high end points. Guys who get 7 points a week do not matter as much. Let's see if we get Jahmyr Gibbs in this one. Let's see what the adjustment to the projections did. You're muted, Dan.
I boosted him until he was coming up second, so he's coming up second now. So
that is my personal opinion of where he probably in the Davis Maddock no Thanksgiving rankings. I think
Maybe we should try that one of these weeks. Davis, you say who you want boosted, and then rerun it.
Oh, that could be kind of fun.
Yeah, just do that one week.
we can,
Davis adjusted ranks, and then.
Yeah, that could work.
I'll tell you already. It's gonna be Achane, Hill. Who else?
Xavier Worthy? No, not really. I'm actually completely done with him. It'll be the last loser who I still can't quit is Jaden Reed.
Because week 1.
Week 4 too. He's had more 30. He's had the same amount of games with over 30 points as any. He's like more games above 30 than CD Lamb. Actually, than a bunch of guys. I don't know why I singled out CD Lamb. The Packers just run the gosh dang ball too much.
It seems like with like CD Lamb and DeVito, it's like you look at those projections and you're like, there's no way they're getting anything. They stink. You know what I mean? Not CD Lamb doesn't stink, obviously, but like with Cooper Rush at QB, he's just not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so this node. Oh, did he skip Achane? Of course we take Achane here.
Yeah.
100%.
Wow, dude, we're running good. We're running good. We're running good in the guy who just took first has the goat horns, which means he has won a contest on DraftKings or on Underdog. Also, who do I speak to at Underdog about I'd like a German short hair pointer. I'd like this German short hair pointer dog to be my avatar. Because that is my dog, and I would like that. I would like that switch. Is it going to have us take Tyreek with Achane? That's interesting.
You can. So yeah, it does like that the best, and for a 3 gamer, I think it's probably fine.
Yeah,
just
do
it.
Just do it.
Take
no,
Tyreek.
One, am going to do what the computer says anyways, but 2, I agree that on a 3 gamer, I think it's kind of binary. Either the Dolphins shit works this week, or it's like too cold and they quit, and they're none of them are optimal anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the weaknesses in some of my sims is it, in my opinion, doesn't accurately account for vulturing effects between players on the same team.
Sure.
Which doesn't matter as much when you have so few choices to begin with, right? You don't need crazy ceiling outcomes. You just need your guys to beat the guys in 2 other games. I mean, it's a much lower bar, so I'm much less likely to override that kind of thing. Now it's saying Tyrone Tracy.
All right. We'll ride with Tracy.
Oh, if we're gonna do that again, why don't you next time drop Tracy down a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll start doing the Davis adjustments as we go, since it's so easy. Man, you're blowing up on Twitch, Davis.
Am I? I got one viewer.
You got 1 comment.
I am. They did just send me an email today. I am now a Twitch affiliate, not a partner, but I'm an affiliate.
I couldn't get that. No one watches us on Twitch.
Yeah, people are not into sports gambling on Twitch.
Yeah, it seems pretty pointless, honestly.
So Swift just went? Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
I think I have like 150 followers on Twitch.
So now it's offering up Jamison Williams or Sam Laporta or Jordan Love. Got a lot of mixes. Like Sam Laporta the most. Now it likes Jamison Williams the most. Now it likes Laporta. It's toggling between Laporta and Williams at the moment.
All right, we'll do Jameson. I was going to say maybe let's do Love and just see what it wants us to do there. I think I'm going to try and stream some video games on Twitch
this
summer. Oh, probably FIFA. I don't know. I don't even have it, but maybe NCAA 25. I don't know. But it would be nice to have people watching on Twitch. I don't know anything about growing on Twitch or getting people to watch. Yeah, I don't know any. I only know YouTube. I don't know
Seems
anything.
kind of pointless.
Well, you never know. Another revenue stream, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I could play Madden on there. Mookie says, yeah.
Okay. It's gonna want us to take Goff, I bet.
If I don't want to stream my.
No, it's actually mixing. It actually says Tucker Craft at the moment.
Do it.
So you're probably gonna get. Yeah, let's try it. See what happens. So one of the things you see in these small drafts over and over again, in my opinion, is people taking quarterbacks too early. Because they're too afraid of getting some uncorrelated thing.
They don't want to have Cooper Rush, man.
Right. And it's not the disaster you think it is. And oftentimes those lineups are playable at equilibrium according to my stuff. And they're probably underowned because people are so reluctant to go for them. So don't be afraid to get, because now we're going to get something super weird. Now it wants Tommy DeVito. And that's going to be like wildly underowned. Right?
It's so funny. Like in my head this morning, I'm on the treadmill, I'm running, I'm drafting like 5 of these at a time, and I'm like, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I was like, that was when I messaged you guys to see if you want to do this morning. I was like, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to get on these streams with Dan and Brian, and they're going to be like, yeah, you should be taking weirdo 6-leg parlays that are uncorrelated because they're so underowned by the field. It's going to want you to take Cooper Rush. It's going to want you to take DeVito. And I'm like, sure. Yeah. I mean, why not?
So let me just look at the draft percentages for the quarterbacks.
We found Siege's burner here.
I think I was a little bit worried about that, but I believe Dable already said DeVito is starting. Just another cousin, put your money where your mouth is. You can use Twitch Prime right now, brother. You can use Twitch. I'm in a Twitch affiliate now. It just sent me an email. You can use your Twitch Prime.
Twitch affiliate? I got twice as many followers on as you.
Because I've been doing all my streams for the last 2 weeks. I've been co-streaming, so I've got like.
You got to do like at least two or three streams a week.
Oh, never mind. Owned again. He said there's no button yet. All right.
So this data I'm looking at is quite suggestive. So it's still cooking. It's still cooking. So the numbers aren't finalized, but so of the 6 quarterbacks, so Goff and Love drafted near 100% of the time. Tua is like 90%. Caleb Williams is like 56%. And then DeVito is like 38. Rush is like 25. So, I mean, who did I leave out?
Tua,
yeah. Tua is like 90-ish. So, like, those sort of bottom tier quarterback plays should be played at some frequency, which makes perfect sense. Like, is there a chance that the 3 quote good quarterback options all fail? 100%. Of course there is. So in a contest with 40,000 entries, if imagine if there was no lineup with Cooper Rush in it, like, and you got to play the only one with Cooper Rush, like that's you're printing, right?
Cooper Rush got 20 points 9 days ago, and that's been completely memory wiped.
Yeah, so I'll be really interested to see like what the actual ownerships are on the quarterbacks in particular for this slate. That's going to be
they'll be too low. I
think that's a good bet.
They'll be too low. You know what? And it's another illustrative point on full slates, anyways. How hard it is to win these fucking things. So, like, let's say no one is going to take Pat Mahomes. Like, no one's going to take him. And you're like, oh, shit, I could do 150 Pat Mahomes slams and no one's allowed to take them but me. How many times do you still win a big flagship Sunday with that 150?
Right.
Fucking barely ever.
Right. What are the odds that Pat Mahomes is optimal
Yeah.
when there are 19 other quarterbacks? So thinking about this another way, when you have a short slate like this, a lot of your plays are in effect bets that all the good stuff fails. And that's far more likely in a 3-gamer. This is why these plays are actually playable.
Just think about like you know how everyone is like, oh dude, the afternoon games always fail. The games that are supposed to shoot out in the 3 p.m. window, they always fail. It's like, bro, yeah, that it just happens because NFL games happen. But like that, the 3-gamer is just the whole slate. So it's like, oh, if all these games are 13-10, why can't Cooper Rush be optimal? You know?
This guy actually can tell the future right here. This is what's going to happen.
This is correct.
Exactly what's going to happen.
It's
they
like,
will be too low. You will get it in good, and you will lose.
Like,
that was kind of my point about the Pat Mahomes thing.
Obviously, in the end, Tua Tagovailoa is going to be the optimal quarterback. Like, of course, we know that. But it's an exercise. It's an exercise in figuring out what you should be doing. I agree with this. Old guy teaching the youth of America, being the 23rd rated. Like, Brian, if you got like a gaming setup like an Elgato, you could get a lot of views on Twitch. You could.
I don't want to stream my defense because it'll be the new meta and they'll steal it and then they'll patch it. Wow. I don't want anyone to know my D.
Well, I mean, hey man, I can't. It's a matter. It's like you don't want to start a tout site. You don't want people to. You don't want the game to be.
My Madden defense is more important than touting. I don't know. Maybe
we should. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. I will stream some kind of game. I don't know if it'll be FIFA or NCAA 25 in the off season, and maybe Brian will join me.
Oh, I did the Ultimate Team thing.
You did?
Yeah, I figured out how it works.
How much money have you spent?
0. You don't need to spend any money.
Bet you're getting your ass kicked.
No, I'm crushing. I'm already on
Are you a top 100 player though?
Well, they have all these different game modes, but that first mode, there's the 5% legend. I got in there like almost instantly.
I've not played it. I've not played Madden Ultimate Team in 5 years, and
you don't need to spend any money. You just have to be good. You know what I think the problem? Why you think it's so competitive is the ELO system's pretty screwy because there's so many. Good.
Well, I'm not very good, but I know from.
That's my point. If you're playing regs, the ELO system's pretty good, so you'll be playing people of your own skill level more frequently. In this Ultimate Team, you're going to be playing like just professionals randomly.
So I just know about the FIFA system, and even the highest level, the greatest pros, the world champions, they still have to total pay to win. You can't just have the base cards and win. It's impossible.
But I didn't to chat. I didn't spend a penny. I guarantee I'll get in the top 100. Like if I want to.
He guarantees it.
I guarantee it.
He guarantees it.
Okay,
I'll do a public bet if people want.
Okay, Amon-Ra second is pretty weird.
Yeah.
So you should just take Josh Jacobs here.
Yeah. I'll take Jacobs. You can let it cook for the extra 40 seconds or whatever.
Now it's going to give you a mix. It's mixing Tyreek Hill and Demon at the moment. So I can just tell you, if you're comfortable with those, I'll just tell you which one it mixes.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we'll just go with, because it's oscillating between them at the moment.
The computer's kind of wishy-washy. Not like drafting like a human with very strong preferences.
And Tyreek it is.
Mark, welcome to the channel. Cool name, bro. Mark Leader.
Rusty, I asked if there was another chief. You got it wrong.
By the way, yes, Madden Ultimate Team, no money spent, top 100. That would kill. That would kill.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Like, you would get, if you did in fact get top 100 for a month, or how, I don't know how it's set up. You'd get 17,000 YouTube views.
Actually, what I would do is be like, I don't know if I can get it, and then I want to rack up some bets. People bet.
There is a Madden YouTuber with 3 million subscribers who has an affiliate deal with Underdog. We could probably patch you two together.
There's like 20 because I watch Madden YouTube now, so like they all have Underdog. I'm already an Underdog affiliate.
No, we're waiting for you to retire to become a full-time Madden influencer.
Hey, just imagine the amount of subs I could get if I do a combo drafting classical music stream. I mean,
while singing arias.
Yeah, exactly. Untapped potential. Okay, here
I
we
don't know
go.
how high that would be, honestly.
Okay, it's right now it's saying Dowdle, Tua, Dowdle, Swift, Dowdle, Jonnu. It's got a lot of options. We're gonna go Dowdle. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't run on the Detroit Lions. That's one thing I know.
And now for the next pick, it's mixing between a bunch of guys. Jonnu Smith, Jared Goff. Winning at the moment. Tua is in
Goff.
there. Now it's
Goff, no Lion.
It's everywhere. It's all over the place. It's like roll some coins. No Dobbs, no Jonnu. It's just like throwing up its hands and saying, "Do what you want." So.
Oh, do you have Romeo Dobbs in your projections?
I have him possibly out in one of them, which is interesting.
Yeah, so he's not going to play.
You don't
concussion,
think so?
concussion, 3-day rest. Yeah.
Okay. So I will fix that.
Well, just the fact that Dan thinks I'm such a huge favorite is a compliment. So, thank you for that. So you think I'm definitely like the best player in the world?
I can't think of how it translates of being so good at the offline game mode or not offline, but so good at the classical game mode versus the ultimate team. I honestly really don't know. Because I said I know I would guarantee that much like FIFA Ultimate Team, the Ultimate Team is as cheesy and as sweaty and as broken, glitchy mechanics and stuff as possible.
It's like are you talking about the competition?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think everyone is
game,
right, but everyone is better and doing the best, highest tech stuff in.
Yeah, I don't think they're any better. I'm telling you, I think it's the matchmaking that's screwing with you. Because when you get to the top 100 in regs, you're playing studs every fucking game. They never match you with someone shitty.
I'm not saying you're not. I'm saying the absolute best people are not even playing the mode you're playing. They're playing the Ultimate Team.
Yeah, definitely those 20 dudes or whatever.
Yes,
but they play regs occasionally, I think.
All right, what?
Graphs that just went okay. So now let me stop the runner.
We can't take two, so we are going to have a weirdo team to some degree.
Yep. So if Dobbs is not playing, Christian Watson is winning the race at the moment.
Spoiler alert, folks. I'm probably not going to take him very much on the stream, but boy, am I going to take a lot of Dontavian Wicks when I'm not on this stream.
Wicks, okay. And now it's just gonna pair Jordan Love with Watson.
All right. What is the expected value of this team with our Packers stack?
Hitting it now. $9.32.
Oh my god, dude! Why I don't know how you guys do that 9 to 5 shit. Look how easy this is. We're just printing
one shipper after the next.
Tear up that application, Davis.
Man, yeah, dude. Who needs State Farm? He doesn't see players or names. Just you're in the matrix, dude.
Exactly. Plug me in.
All right. That was Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, Rico Dowdle, Jonnu Smith, Christian Watson, and Jordan Love. Man, I'm really enjoying this. It's rake free.
Should I make some adjustments, or we'll do one more before I make?
We'll do one more, and then let's I don't know, basically take a point from Tracy and give it to Dowdle, because that I think is more representative of reality.
Okay.
All right, this is our first time drafting. First time drafting third. Evan Silva is in here. That's not actually Evan Silva, which is the funniest. That has got to be the funniest Underdog name. Is Well, Peter Underzet is very funny.
That's a good one.
Take Cast Fan 01, which like I don't even know who that is. I don't even think that person is in my Discord. That is very funny. But Evan Silva, as knowing it's not actually him, is very funny.
We've gotten a third spot once already, have we?
Oh, we did, but they let us have Achane.
Yeah.
So it's not the same.
Checkers Liam was a good one.
Checkers Liam is really good. The funniest thing I can imagine would be entering one of these and seeing Adam Levitan in one of them. Seeing Levitan randomly in a $5 Thanksgiving Day draft. I just feel like, dude, what are you doing? Hello, State Farm. I'm not going to be making it to my second interview. A guy named Nerdy Tenor ran some simulations. We determined I have a slightly higher than 0.7% chance of winning $20,000. I'm just saying. I've called out of job interviews for less. Sack.
Nice. Well, I did get third in the afternoon. The afternoon underdog yesterday.
You're doing afternoon slates? Wow.
Well, I was like, I got my Millie Maker lineups and drafts done. I've got some time. So we just take. Wait, is it going to mix at all?
St. Brown.
It is saying, yeah, it's mixing St. Brown and Jacobs. Let's do St. Brown. He's winning at the moment.
Okay.
How'd you do yesterday? Did you win?
I got third
In the what?
in the afternoon underdog.
Okay, so that's like 25,000.
It's $1,000.
It was 1,000.
The underdog.
Oh, underdog. No, I'm talking about how'd you do in DFS?
Oh, yeah. I got 38th in the Millie Maker, so I had a shot on goal.
Yeah, those kind of pissed me off more than anything. You saw Alex won the 555, right?
No, I didn't see that.
We got another Millie under the belt.
Wow, sick.
My lineup, Davis.
How'd you do?
555. I had Jaden Daniels, Ertz, Sutton, Myers.
Myers was awesome.
A good D. Who else am I forgetting? Anyways, I had like the nuts except my 2 RBs.
Did you still cash?
Yeah.
I took 200th or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Brian Robinson and Kareem Hunt, probably.
Brian Robinson and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
I had the nuts and Brian Robinson and Kareem fucking Hunt. Robinson got hurt, but still.
Just goes to show, dude. Why would you play the chalk, man? Just got to be a brain player.
Well, the Robinson, Ertz, Daniels too. I was like,
Okay, so it wants you to go ahead and take Tyreek here.
Do we have any sports tonight? Are we playing NBA tonight?
There is NBA.
There's a bunch of NBA games, yeah.
Yeah, there's 8 games. So I wanted to point out about this slate dynamic. So people have been following the channel for the main BRs. Like, it finds that most of the viable drafts feature 2 running backs with a very small number of 3 wide receiver. For this slate, it thinks about a quarter of the lineup should be 3 wide receiver.
That was
about a quarter of them.
That was my same thought drafting these this morning. Is like, I don't know, do I want to take Tyrone Tracy or Roshan Johnson, or do I just take Christian Watson?
You'd rather, because look at the dynamic here where it's so you have like 3 strong running backs, 1 good one, and 2 sort of middling ones. So the way the order goes down, once 3 are gone, you're much less incentivized to go for another one.
Yeah.
You took more because you're so now it says Laporta, but it's or Jonnu or Watson or Waddle. it's all over the place. You can take Jonnu, I guess.
I don't have a Waddle yet.
Okay. You want to do Waddle?
Yeah.
I don't really love these $15 50K to first NBA ones. I'm still going to play though, aren't
I? Malik Heath only ran 4 routes yesterday, and yeah, it was because so none of the starting wide receivers played more than 75% of the snaps because they were up so much. So Melton and Heath played a lot in the 4th quarter. Heath literally scored a touchdown on one of only 4 routes that he ran. See, people keep saying the Thanksgiving slate is bad. I'm jazzed up. I think it's a great slate. I think they're all going to be good games. I even think the backup quarterback versus backup quarterback element in Giants versus Dallas gives it the ability to be interesting. It's not going to be a blowout because both teams stink.
Yeah, it's just like dial up the randomness.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Anything
exactly
can
it.
happen. I know.
Tommy DeVito, you're telling me Tommy DeVito cannot get 21 fantasy points? I just don't believe that. He definitely can.
Okay, now
it's gonna say Rico.
Tracy Laporta
Oh.
are battling it out. At the moment.
Does your stuff have Jake Ferguson in as the starting tight end for the Cowboys?
Or it's a mix. I think 2 of the sources have him out and 1 has him in.
I'm pretty sure I took
probably
Tracy.
out.
No, I think he's gonna play.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was a concussion. So normally 10 days is what you need to be cleared in the NFL for a concussion, and Thanksgiving will be 11 days.
Oh, well, I mean, you could, because of the way late salt works. Anytime you want to take,
matter.
Anytime you want to take Dallas, you just take him, and then substitute in the other guy if he's out.
Yeah,
I guess there's always the risk that he's cleared, but they don't play him. Right. He clears the protocol. He's technically playing, but they don't give him any snaps.
There we go. All right. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. That is I had not gotten there yet. That is so here is an early edge in this. Schoonmaker will get drafted much higher when ETR publishes their stuff. I'm gonna guess ETR has him projected pretty high, actually. Like not pretty. They're going to project him for like 5.5 points, which makes him firmly draftable as a tight end in these at some rate. So I don't have Gumby. I don't have the time to explain this to you. You just need to hop on Google. There's a difference between deep and regular machine learning. I just need you to kind of get in the Sims and learn it on your own.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter too. I mean,
it's more like a vibe thing.
Yeah, it's more vibe based. You wouldn't get it.
So we're bummed that Tua disappeared.
No, they stole our precious EV, Dan.
It's okay. This happens. So now it just says Kraft. Like, we're not taking a quarterback now. So just take Tucker Kraft.
Okay, I'm going to call an audible. I'm going to take Komet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not calling an override because I think it's wrong. I just want to see what happens, and I want to see if it tells us to take Caleb or not.
All right, I'm going to advance us because, yes, it will tell you to take Caleb now because you took him.
Yeah, I just was because again, I think of the quote unquote good quarterbacks, I believe that Caleb is likely to be the largest discrepancy between the Davis Maddock proprietary mental optimal probability and the rate at which he's drafted.
So the EV here, it gave us $2.94. So
okay, so we lost money on this one.
I want to bring up the dynamic that happened here. So obviously in a small slate, double stacking is more viable, like by a lot. So we had Tyreek and Waddle, which might have been a slight deviation from the computer, but not by a lot, if I recall. Yes. And then, so it turns out Tua got picked, and that cost us. But that doesn't mean that you should never go for these ever. Like sometimes you try for a combo and then your hopes are dashed because someone breaks it. But that doesn't mean it was a mistake to try for it, right? Because maybe the EV would have been quite a bit higher had Tua not gotten taken, for instance. So
yes,
I mean, I don't. This specific case, I have no. It's just one, but you don't want to be so conservative that you never try for combos because you're not going to get them every time, right? It's sort of related to a lot of no Badgers reaching for quarterbacks too soon, like where they're just sort of inflexible and afraid that they're going to get screwed with the combo that they're going for. So be flexible.
We could have taken 2 over
Yes, we
Tracy.
totally,
but
we totally could have.
That's a
that's
great
not what the
bias,
computer said.
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan pointed out another good one is the what do you even call that? Where you is it FOMO? What's the bias of I need to take a QB just because I just don't want to get screwed?
Yeah, I don't know.
What if,
It's
there's
just
got
loss,
that's got to be
some kind of
something.
loss aversion, or I mean, the example here is probably not great. Like, honestly, if we ran a little longer, it probably would have just had you take him because we likely could have gotten decent running back coming back around anyway. But I think that the general point holds that I guess FOMO. I don't know.
I'm gonna look it
It's
up.
also just kind of loss aversion. It's like
Loss version sounds right. So
I really don't want to get screwed. So
I'm trying to think of like one of Kahneman's things. I'll chat GPT it.
Somebody asked about is unstacked QB unique. So I'm looking at my stats here in the EQ strat. It is not stacking about 14% of the time. Now, actually, this dovetails with what I was just talking about. That doesn't mean that that's quote unquote optimal in the sense of equally V. It could be that sometimes the computer tries to get combos and then he gets screwed out of a stack. And so it's probably lower than that number is what you would ideally be hitting. But yeah, there should be some unstacked teams. Like, I don't know how rare those are. That would be, but if I did like 50 drafts and literally never saw an unstacked team, then I would start to think maybe I should be targeting some of those.
It's not risk tolerance. It's not.
No,
it's,
that's
it,
not
it
a
is,
bias, really.
No, yeah. It loss aversion is basically it.
It's kind of like being nitty at poker, where like
yes,
it's sort of a nitty thing. It's a kind of nittiness where it's like, oh shit, I have to lock this thing down.
It's
now.
kind of akin to like being on the bubble of a poker tournament and like seeing kings and mucking them because you're like, I don't know, dude, but I'm gonna min cash, you know.
Yeah. It might not even be a bias, actually.
No, just a thing.
Tracy is going to play less in this game for 2 reasons. The first being Singletary is the best pass protector on the team, and they're playing him more on passing downs. And I don't know. Like if Eric Gray is playing 15% of the snaps, Tracy is a bad click where you're taking him. So that's before we get into the next one. Doc,
and I got
to point to Dowdle.
I gotta edit. Yeah, I gotta edit those points. So remind me what I'm doing. I'm taking a point from
Tracy and giving a point to Dowdle.
Okay, I'll do that in my 3 spots here.
You guys follow sports projections on Twitter?
No, I know who he is though. He's been big on castigating how bad pick 6 is.
I was just reading. This week he has pick 6 NFL for 27% effective rate on average.
Okay,
that's not.
No, that's obviously terrible. But how does that work? Why does the effective rate change?
Oops.
I don't really get that. But I'm also a simpleton.
Well, because they changed the payouts.
I was gonna say they cap how much you can win now, right? They're making it more like a standard pick'em game and less like you actually win your pari-mutuel size of the pool game.
Yeah, I think it's 25x minimum now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't win as much. Effective rate means because it's different each pick 6 based on like how many people are in there and like who and like what legs win and stuff like that, I believe. But basically the old rate, the way he calculated the old rate was about 14%, which is fine. A little high. 27%, unbeatable, probably.
Unless you just win.
Yeah, unless you just win all the money all the time.
It just feels like that's pretty easy. Why don't we just try that? Oh. Yeah, really, really happy for him. You know, just could not have happened to a better dude.
Well, he didn't win for a long time.
Well, he sold his site for a lot of money, so that's kind of winning. I assume. I guess I actually have no idea if he sold his site for a lot of money, so I guess I shouldn't speak out of turn.
ChatGPT is saying loss aversion and regret aversion.
That feels more accurate. Yeah. I think it's just about wanting to play safe and just being like, well, I can't win if I don't get my stack, and I can't let someone else get my stack.
Kahneman would call it bounded rationality. Your brain simplifying a complex problem to manage risk in the moment. So that's it. That's it right there. Bounded rationality.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I think of my opponents on a Tuesday afternoon drafting these teams, I'm thinking bounded rationality.
Honestly, I think that takes a little bit higher level of IQ to even have bounded rationality, because at least you're thinking ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, anchoring as well, but just not as much. And because it's so patently obvious. Oh, 1.1. That means I should go here.
Yeah.
So looking at this last draft, I mean, I didn't. I'm rebuilding with the running back adjustment, but I don't see anything obviously bad in this draft. Like it looks reasonably sharp. The one we just did.
Yeah. We should make a list of all the biases in best ball.
Mm-hmm.
And just tell everyone how bad they're playing all the time. It's like, by the way, you guys are all idiots.
Well, don't they? Doesn't Pete do that? Don't people love having their BRs? Their teams getting sauced. Yes, they do.
Yeah. But we should just do a sound effect. So I watch you draft, and then afterward I type it in, and if it likes it, it's like ding 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 ding, and if not, it's just like the Family Feud X sound. It's like, after.
Set up like some Pavlov dog type of experiment.
All right. We ready to rock another?
It'll keep cooking as you draft, but good enough. Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Dan? If you watch like these young guys' YouTube videos, all the sound effects are from like 70s and 80s shows. And the kids have no clue.
That's really
funny.
That's really funny.
The Price is Right miss and stuff is in a lot of them.
That's hilarious.
Like Madden YouTubers are using Price is Right.
Yes. Yeah. Like they'll do like if
so you're saying that's something
anything, but yes.
I'm missing on the channel. I'm missing Price is Right sound effects.
Throw some on there. The Bob Barker ones, they probably actually, I imagine they're probably exactly the same. I doubt Drew would change anything.
I don't watch enough YouTube actually to really get that much. But I don't have time anymore.
It's definitely mimetic. Like everything's very similar.
All right, so we adjusted Rico Dowdle up 1 point.
Yep. We're just taking Achane first. This last comment was what I thought. Maybe the trademarks have run out and they're free to use. Maybe.
I was thinking the same. thing. Yeah,
that's open source.
Yeah. That's a very funny thing. I have often thought about doing these. Is the photos that everyone uses to make their thumbnails. That's all crime. That's all stealing. No one is using. I know. I mean, I do it. I just get them from Google Images. Like when I go do a thumbnail, whatever image I have of Q from James Bond, buddy, I didn't get that from Getty stock images. That's just a screen grab from the literal film.
Yeah.
So someday,
well, hopefully they don't crack down on that. I mean, that'd be ridiculous.
I believe technically for podcasting and for YouTube, there is a law here in the great country of the United States of America called justifiable fair use.
Yeah.
Which means that you can use like elements and bits and pieces of major media for your own purposes, yes, providing you're not just copy and pasting it. Yeah, fair use.
Fair use, yes.
Ooh.
I mentioned that sound effects though are just like they probably can't even trademark some of them.
Podium run for Montgomery.
Nope, actually, it doesn't. It's not such a smash after all. We're picking twice, so it's got Jonnu Smith, Demont, and DJ Moore battling it out.
Do Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith.
No, I'm taking the bear, dude.
Taking the bear. All right, we'll see what it does. Given that you took the bear.
I don't get it.
He's saying it's fair use for educational purposes, and this
Now it wants it just wants
this
Demont.
content doesn't count.
It wants Demont now. Yeah. Just take Demont. All right. Yeah, it does not like, so from what I've seen so far, in this contest, if everyone is drafting well, drafting first is not good. It does not like
it doesn't like the turn picks because it really liked CeeDee Lamb and Tyreek Hill relative.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I really like Dontavian Wicks. I think Dontavian Wicks before Romeo Dobbs is officially ruled out.
Yeah.
And projections come out. I think Wicks is one of the small edges. I'll also give this away an hour into the stream. There's a wide receiver on this slate who's going to run 90% of the routes and is playing against a laughable defense that just gave up 30 points to the Chris Godwinless Buccaneers, who's going to be drafted like 6% of the time. Jalen Tolbert. Yeah.
He had a big game didn't he?
He scored a touchdown. I think he only had 4 targets, but he's like legitimately undrafted in these.
Okay. So now it's saying
we're not going to have ownership projections for this.
Goff, Laporta, Tua, all in the mix. Goff winning. Just want you to take Goff.
Just wants to take Goff?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, and given that you took Goff, now it's saying it's mixing a lot here too. Laporta, Williams, Kraft. Laporta's winning. Williams in second. It's mixing. Laporta wants, but it's close.
No, this is the thing. Mingo barely played. I've never seen this before. The Cowboys rotated 5 guys as their third wide receiver in that game. It was very bizarre stuff from the Cowboys in that game.
Someone's saying the AI is only as smart as the lib who programmed it. God, I hope that's not true. Better be smarter than me.
Better be smarter. Brian, after this stream, you pull yours up and do it. I gotta go take my dog out. She's crying upstairs after we make this last pick.
Okie doke.
Right.
Isn't the volatility of fans' opinions of QB so crazy?
So Caleb Williams, send him out. We need Bajent to people on the street would fight you today.
Jalen Daniels.
Yeah. Oh, Jaden Daniels is just.
I'm talking like over the years too, like Dak Prescott.
Oh yeah.
Like what a great fourth round pick or whatever, and to like overpaid, worst quarterback ever.
Laporta did get taken from us.
Let me guess. Pat Barnes, YouTube.
Oh my God, Pat Barnes, YouTube.
You know who's missing out the most in this is Pat Barnes, YouTube, because there's only 3 other slots for him to bum hunt.
It's true.
It's saying Tucker Kraft.
All right, Brian, you are in charge for the next one.
$6.61.
All right, we're back on the winning track. We're back on the winning track.
While I'm hosting, me and Dan are going to play a game of Madden.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
Do we want to do a draft?
We can. I can do one, or you can do one. It doesn't even matter.
Well, if it locates me, I'll be able to do one.
If it won't let you, let me know. I can
it does. I think it's gone through. What do we want? The turkey?
Yes, $5? The turkey. The $5. It's $5. Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet that they have a rake-free big contest.
You sometimes it takes 2 or 3 entries to get me that refreshes to get that location. So it's so ridiculous. I'm in the middle of I think 5 states, right? That can access Underdog.
Can all access it.
They can all access Underdog. I'm in the middle of the country.
Yeah. Well, I had people have come to my door to authenticate that I was playing from a legal place. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine? You got a knock on the door.
It's the FBI,
No,
underdog department. You know, we might have to do yours, Dan. I can't.
all right, I will see if mine is live here.
Okay, I'm gonna keep trying. Well,
all right, let me try.
I'm gonna switch to Firefox, but you try one, and then if that doesn't work, let me try one more.
Nope, I'm good. So let me.
You got it.
Let me share a window.
Okay.
So, I gotta do this before it starts.
Definitely the hottest AG we'll ever have. I will say, Pam Bondi.
Right,
ooh, bright.
Cool? So I know I'm a light background libtard. Here we go. All right. I always like to do this.
Is that account balance? Is that all profit, pretty much, or what?
Actually, I lost quite a bit early when I was testing multiple sports, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely up in NFL. I'm up in NFL.
Oh my
Down.
God. Not the light mode, dude. Not the light
All right.
mode, Dan.
I'm killing everyone. Everyone's just dying inside because of my light mode.
Dan using the. That's so funny.
I use dark mode
let's see how
for
Dan
programming. For programming, I use dark for what it's worth. That's where most of my screen time actually is spent, is like with a code editor.
My dog is a little bit too old to be crying in the middle of the day to go out to pee. She's like almost 6 months old now. She kind of needs to grow up.
Pupper.
But we move. It's starting to get very cold here. It's right now it's like 45 degrees, but it's gonna get to be about 28 degrees tonight. Yeah, Brian is a real Madden fan. He just plays as the Bears.
Yep. If I play Regs, it's just the Bears. But now I want to prove Davis wrong, so I tried this Ultimate Team thing. Oh, I thought a good video would be like a review of my situation, right? Of I haven't played Madden in 20 years. That's pretty rare. And like the people complaining about Madden, like the game's just so much better than it was 20 years ago.
Oh,
there's just so much more cool things. But like it's
Mm.
probably hard to see that after if you've just been playing Madden the last 5 years or something.
People always hate the game. Everyone always hates FIFA. When a FIFA comes out, oh, it's the worst FIFA of all time. You know, all that type stuff. All right, Achane and Montgomery. It's a pretty hot start.
Yeah, it's a nice combo. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting when projections finalize when I rerun this. It seems like there are some options at the third pick. Like you don't have to take a running back there. You can take a receiver sort of as a gambit, and then you hand it to the fourth player, and he gets the third good running back, and then like you adjust based on what he does. But we'll see if that like keeps coming up. I had that this morning, but I don't know how seriously.
There have been more people in here without badges than I anticipated. The rake free turkey slate is bringing them in.
All right, so this is a nice dynamic where we have two running backs, and the guy who drafts next has two receivers, which means like we're not competing with each other for those two positions, which kind of is nice when you get that. Nevertheless, it wants me to take Waddle.
You'd think the noobs would be Wednesday night, Thursday morning, probably coming in, waiting for the food to cook.
You know, totally. I don't know. People are there at work right now, but they really don't want to be at work. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm going to do the water and meat diet after Thanksgiving, Davis.
Yeah,
I'll do Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Just straight carnivore.
Straight water too. Like no diet drinks, no coffee.
Oh, I'll never give up Diet Coke.
I know. Maybe I'll keep my diet Pepsi, of course. You have to be contrarian.
There's just nothing. I kind of forget. It like honestly like makes me respect you less. The Diet Pepsi thing. there's being contrarian, and then there's just being wrong. You know. Dan, you're cooking up a winner here. DJ Moore in the 4th round. I mean,
yeah. So this pick here, it gave me like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different options. That seems to be coming up a lot, and I think that's going to be a place where, if you pay attention to the combos people are playing, like there might be some relatively low cost ways to get different in this slate. To be really nice. I would be watching for people getting too anchored to certain things.
Mostert is the 3rd down back, and Jalen Wright is now the primary backup rusher to Achane. Yeah, we talked about Diet Coke yesterday morning on the stream for like an hour.
Who?
Myself. Me in my chat. We talked about Diet Coke for a long time.
Diet Coke's fine. It's just not nearly as good.
The Sims, we could tell the Sims that, but they probably won't listen to us. But they should know that Wicks is going to catch 2 touchdowns on Turkey Day. That is written in the stars. So Love and 2 are still available here. It's kind of interesting.
Yep. And
so it's going to have you take the tight end first.
Yeah, because it's not that big of a difference, I guess. Or they're both fine. I guess is the reason, according to our computer.
All right.
And now it's actually likes them both. I'm just gonna wait till 20 seconds and pick whichever one it picks. It doesn't much like my lineup. I got $4.42, so a little bit under.
All right, so we lost money. We lost money on the Nerdy Tenor account.
You just can't trust me to do drafts, Davis. I mean,
did you make any changes, or did you just take the highest guy?
When there was a mix, let's see, what decision did I have to make? Nope, I took the highest guy every time for this one. Yeah, but there's mixes. I mean, there were mixes at choice number 6. Choice number 4 had the most mixes. When I picked DJ Moore, there were like 6 different things I thought was viable there. So interesting. Should I do another one, or you want to switch back to the?
No, I can't do any more light mode.
All right.
All right. Let's keep.
It's sexy. Actually, I think my other laptop has it on dark mode.
It's so good. Honestly, one of my favorite aesthetics is the Underdog dark mode. It's just you can get away with a lot in the gambling space if people like your user interface. You really can. And I do really like the Underdog interface. Yeah. Almost as much as I like Diet Coke, Brian, but not quite. I said yesterday on my stream I would get the Diet Coke logo tattooed if they made me a Diet Coke influencer.
Huh. I get the caffeine free too, which I'm not sure they have.
That's just bizarre. Not that I drink it for the caffeine. Like that is just, it's whatever. I actually like the gold can. The caffeine free Diet Coke comes in a gold can.
I had one when I was a kid, and for some reason it just tasted so good on that day that I've always had like a affinity for it.
Yeah. Same, Rusty.
Yeah, I'll switch and let you know how it affects my my return.
Yeah.
Okay, let us know.
It definitely does. You don't know which way. It depends on your computer.
Yeah, that's true. It might have a.
Is this turkey tournament gonna fill by Wednesday morning?
I was thinking no. What do you guys think?
I don't know, man. It's already 13%. I think it's already 13%, and I'm doing these one at a time. When tonight I'm gonna be doing these 6 at a time.
Oh my god, that's gonna be so mind blowing. I would find these much harder to multi-table than the.
Oh no, it is like I can't imagine
really?
because you're the game. Oh wow, we get Achane here. The game tree is so narrow. You have so few choices.
That's where a nice tool would be sweet. Multi-tabling, Thursday morning, this type of thing.
Well, first off, learn ball. Second off, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be in this boat. A lot of people are going to do more turkey drafts than main BRs.
Yeah, I don't see why.
My guess is it'll get close to filling right at lock, but it won't.
Mm-hmm.
The turkey?
Yeah.
No, the turkey is filling, brother.
Is it?
Okay, you got options here. You could do Tyreek, or you could do Tyreek. It just wants Tyreek.
It just wants Tyreek.
I think the combo must not be that common, according to it, which makes sense.
So in Pete's Discord, one of the one of the product people will post these things, and he's like, yeah, they're all gonna fill.
Oh, okay.
They would know better than me, but
I've never been wrong, but okay.
I know. What does that feel like, being wrong anyway?
I couldn't tell you.
Strange. Must be
Couldn't
uncomfortable.
tell you.
All right, let's see. Is it going to want us to take Tua early?
I would guess not. That would be my guess, but I don't know.
We should
All right,
force
here
a
we
bear stack just for fun one of these days. Not yet. We can't now. DJ Moore's gone.
So it's saying Dowdle now.
All right.
Go ahead and get the.
I do think Dowdle is the very secret play. There you go. They just dropped the late slate contest as well.
Yeah. For people who missed the first one or just want to do both. I actually won a DraftKings GPP on Thanksgiving last year. And I was
how much? 100?
It was either 100 or 200. I can't remember.
Oh, nice.
200.
Nice.
I can check in a minute. But I was like, do I bring this up? It's a little weird. Didn't want to, so I didn't until the end. It's saying Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, weird.
Okay.
It's so weird. Oh, now it says Jameson Williams. Now it says Jameson Williams.
My fingers were not nimble enough.
It's going to be different, that's for sure.
I assume the gauntlet and the mitten and everything, I assume that's coming Monday next week. Is my guess. But maybe they'll launch it this week. I don't know. You know, give people plenty of things to draft.
Somebody asked. Yeah, my win last year is a solo win. Yeah. I can't remember whether it was I think it was one of the showdowns, but I'm not sure.
The Sims at best are going to tell us Christian Watson, and even then, I guess
it's not going to say Wicks because the projections haven't been boosted to account for Dobbs yet.
Yeah.
So we could just take him sixth. Screw this.
We might just do it. Is it? Well, I'm wondering if it's going to tell us to take Kraft though.
It is saying Jameson Williams, Tucker Kraft, and Christian Watson.
There you go, Watson. Okay, so directionally accurate.
We can do Watson or Williams.
Let's take Williams and then we'll take Kraft in the last round if we can. Yeah, because Tanner Borund already has a tight end.
Right, and it's very unlikely he's going to take two tight ends. That would be weird. Yeah, this is not an attractive two tight end slate, according to the Sims.
No, although I tell you what, Theo Johnson's a little sneaky. 6 targets last week. He has played the 4th most total snaps at tight end of any tight end in the National Football League.
Does anyone have an API for Underdog?
I don't. And it says Tucker Kraft, of course.
I believe you have to play in the contest to get the results.
I mean, like the day of how players in the draft and their ADP, or even just players in the draft API.
I don't know.
You mean like Underdog users or football players?
Football players.
No, I don't know. I don't know how to access that. I'm sure there is a way though.
So look at this team you just drafted here. So like it likes this team quite a bit. $9.77.
Yeah, this guy Paul has a script to pull all the lineups for BR. What did you say the EV was?
I don't need the lineups. I just want the players.
Just wants an API where he doesn't have to click around to get the it's $9.77 for this one. So this is a kind of lineup you probably wouldn't be inclined to make in a full BR. We have receiver and running back from the same team, but a different quarterback. Probably not. But you should see lots of these kinds of lineups in a 3-gamer. Because it's the opportunity cost. Like it's very much like baseball, where like in most large baseball slates, you're gonna need one of the top stacks to win, because one of them's gonna go nuclear, and you're gonna need it. But it's a 3-gamer. It's quite likely that no stack goes nuts, right? So having 2 from the same team but not the quarterback is totally viable.
That's what Artillery Frost just said. When he won the PTP, he had Cooper Rush with no other Cowboys, not even Turpin, who outscored both of his wide receivers, which is just to show in a 3-game slate or a 2-game slate or whatever, there's way more combos than your brain can process. Like the amount of combos available with 6 lineup spots and 6 teams to choose from is so massive. Like I'm sure you guys could do the math. Like Dan, I'm sure you have it in there. It's a huge number. You it's like doing 150 teams. You don't even come close, dude. You are not even a drop in the ocean of covering all the combos.
Yeah.
All right, we made $9. I guess we made $4.
Yeah.
So we are in the stream. We've at least bought like 1 beer in Donald Trump's America. We made like $12.
Well, we're planning to stream a movie today since my kid is off school, and I bet we could afford the Amazon streaming cost, with my portion of the EV.
You should watch Rings of Power with your child.
I saw it, and then I told him it wasn't that great, and then that was like my put it on late at night when I was tired but didn't want to go to sleep. Like that's the show.
Even then, it just upset me, and then I wouldn't be able to fall asleep.
Have you watched Dune Prophecy yet? Oh,
no, I was thinking about watching it yesterday though.
This I'm gonna watch.
Nice.
I'm gonna watch this. Yeah.
I think we're gonna do. My family, we're gonna do the Wolverine and Deadpool movie. I think that's a
good family.
I watched that indie sci-fi film I told you guys about, Vesper.
Huh?
It was fine. And like for an indie, it's really, really well done, high quality. But it was like a character piece, and I'm looking for sci-fi. Like how did the world get destroyed? Like what was there a battle with aliens? Like stuff like that. I wanted answers to those questions. And it was really more like a character piece about humanity and stuff like that. And it's like, fuck that.
I saw
is it good with Gibbs here?
Yeah. We made it so. I tweaked it so that Gibbs is coming second. So I watched the first Dune Prophecy. We'll see potential. The second one came out yesterday, I think.
I'm a big God. I'm such a Dune nerd. If it's bad, I'm gonna be disappointed. I really love Dune. Dune is I think it is my top 1 science fiction. I don't think there's a better science fiction franchise.
Maybe.
I can being weird.
Silo's out too.
Yes, I like Silo.
Kendra Miller.
Silo, I like. even though
So
they
I
don't
hope
like
good. I haven't watched this new season yet, but I hope it's good.
It's gonna say Tyreek.
It's saying Dowdle,
Oh, sure.
which is
Why
a little
not?
weird.
That
I
is
don't
very
love it.
weird.
I'll tell you why in a minute.
I don't love it either, but
The
we're
reason I
just
don't
taking,
love it is because the guy to your left can only take one more running back anyway.
yeah.
So like,
Is the sim
it's
maybe
so much.
inferring he won't want to take Tyreek Hill
No, probably
because he
not.
has Achane?
Let me see what it thinks. No, it thinks he is taking Tyreek, and it still said to do that.
And he did. He took Tyreek and Neighbors, and we are
Yep.
backups. But we can take DJ Moore now. We could do Brian's bear stack.
Yes, you totally can. Go ahead. It's in the
All right.
mix.
DJ
Yeah,
Moore.
I think that last one was a little bit of a blip because, like, I just ran through a scenario and like your opponent did what it thought it might do, and then your EV went down. So it's like, well, what were you expecting? So it makes me think if I just run it longer, it would have gotten to something else there. So
That's why you can't trust the computer, Dan. And that's why you just have to load up these drafts and draft from your balls and find winners.
Yeah. Brains over Sims.
Is that like, Dan, like if you're doing this in poker and then your opponent should bet 30% of the time and check, and then he actually does do that, now you're kind of fucked, right?
No, I don't know. Well, no, I'm not sure.
It's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to
It's a little hard to do in real
compare
time.
those two things.
I mean, yeah. It's hard to do what we're trying to do. That's actually good for you because he just seeded some draft capital.
Is he watching the stream?
Probably. Yeah. Can we take Jade and Reed now?
That might actually take Laporta. You can just take Laporta. It wants Laporta now, actually.
So the projections view Laporta as pretty key.
Reed would have worked too. But,
yeah, no, but there is something interesting there, and I actually think I'm agreeing with this as going through this. It's like Laporta and Jonnu eat a huge part of the optimal probability at tight end here, but the market is treating Jonnu in these drafts as far better than Laporta.
Okay, so now you just take off.
Yeah. We're getting a good mix of teams here. I kind of thought I thought maybe it would be boring, and I thought we'd just draft the same team over and over. But we're actually we're actually mixing and chopping around in these more than we are in the main BRs. Like when we do the main BRs, sometimes it's just like, well, this is the James Conner round.
Yeah, because I think that actually it's a little bit paradoxical, as you might think, well, in the main BRs you have so many choices. Like, shouldn't you just naturally be getting to different things?
Mm-hmm.
But because there's so many choices, if you have a take on a player or a projection on a player, like you might just have them in a completely different tier than everyone else. And because of that, you just always end up drafting them if you just follow your projection or your system, whatever. Whereas here, like, the positional scarcity is so severe that like you can't, unless you're being an idiot, you can't get in that spot because a lot of the times the guy, even if you think the guy's better than the field, you're still not getting him a lot of time because, this guy needs a running back and there's two left and you took the one that you love, whatever. And now you can take Jameson Williams, Wan'Dale Robinson. That's fun. Or Christian Watson if you want to double stack. Those are it likes Wan'Dale and Jameson the most right now.
I'll do Jameson. Okay. Jameson will give us the triple stack, the onslaught.
Triple. Nice.
I probably won't hand draft any of these teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't hand draft any of these teams. So great natural diversification.
Davis, when you said $12 beer, I wanted to say something about inflation. I saw this Twitter post. It was a McDonald's menu, right? Like from inside of McDonald's, the dollar menu. Yeah. Davis, you should probably remember this, but Dan definitely will remember the dollar menu.
I remember the dollar menu.
Okay. What year was the last dollar McDouble?
Oh God, it's gonna be
2000
terrible.
What year do you think it would be?
2015.
I have no.
Now I'm calling it the actual $1 because I know that the dollar menu would
They have
have
the
like,
1, 2, 3.
the 1, 2, 3. And they also had like
maybe
$1.69. I'm saying it was actually $1.
Maybe 2012.
I have no clue.
And this is according to ChatGPT, so who knows if it's real?
Oh, okay. Right. Well,
I'm gonna go McDouble. I'm gonna go.
Wait, McDouble?
McDouble.
Yeah, a McDouble. So McDouble right now is $4 about in Chicago. Anyways.
Yeah, I'll go 2012. I'm
gonna go 08.
God damn, Dan, you should go buy a lottery ticket. And hit it right in the head. 08, it says, was the last dollar. Davis, that 2012 though was like the last time it was on the dollar option. Like it was like $1.69 or something in 2012. So you guys are actually pretty goddamn good. I don't know, but I thought like 2008 to 2024, 4x. Ugh, that's like there's no way our salaries went 4x from fucking 2008. Like if you had a $70,000 job in 2008, it's not whatever whatever.
Keep in mind, brother. I mean, Bitcoin 16 years ago. So we're the singularity there. Bitcoin being introduced, inflation going higher.
I thought the exact same fucking thing.
Turns out it's all just a fucking CIA backdoor, brother, and it's just it's keeping their information on all of us.
I wasn't thinking. I was thinking though that the money didn't go into salaries, but it did go into Bitcoin.
There is a fairly common thesis out there that the Bitcoin is actually a CIA lab leak. They never intend that it was written and cryptographed. I don't believe that's a word, by CIA agents, but that they effectively like lost control of it. That it was never intended to be this thing that it is. But yeah,
it's interesting.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like ideas tend to be ripe to exist. So even if that were true, something like this would.
the problem is that, Davis, that you agree with me. There's no way a 70K job is not 208. No, it's not. It's not right.
No.
I'm telling you.
No,
like,
no,
if you had
no
a
way.
70K job in 2008. They're not paying 280K for the same job. No fucking way.
No shot.
No shot.
All right, we're drafting on the turn here.
On average. I'm sure you could find some jobs.
Okay, here's a question. Dan and Brian, do you guys wish that there were ADP for this?
No.
No. Not with the tool.
No, I love that there isn't one.
Yeah.
I mean, on purely selfish terms, I think it.
Yes.
Like, especially, I think it makes the bad play. Like, first of all, I think the bad players in this format are going to be worse in this than in the big BRs, just period. And then, in addition, not having the ADPs makes it even harder for them.
Well, there is a limiting factor.
It says CB land. That's fun.
There is a limiting. There are guardrails for how bad you can do in one given Battle Royale draft because there is ADP, and you're like, well, I'm not going to go all the way down to these idiots, and then they cancel the drafts that are really bad.
Yeah, but ADP here, like we were talking before stream, how ADP isn't enough of a number to know what to do because it's you can only pack so much info in one number. Like that goes double for this kind of thing. Now it says Tyreek Hill to go with Suga. It says Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, neighbor.
Okay, I'm gonna take Amon-Ra because I like setting up Goff stuff more than I like setting up Tua stuff. If that makes sense, like
it does too. Go ahead, yeah.
Just at the end of this, like when I'm done, like I'd like to have Goff be my most owned quarterback. I think.
Plus, there's an advantage to like, especially. I feel like I don't know. I haven't studied this. I feel like there's value in pressuring people in other positions with your picks. So like when you take Amon-Ra, so here's my theory. Other people might be like, oh shit, if I don't take the quarterback with him, Davis is going to grab him, so I better get him early. And then you get people pushing things early, which then hands draft capital to you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, it's going to benefit the other players even more than you, if my theory is correct. But it still should benefit you in theory. If they're like, oh shit, I gotta grab him now.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. I haven't studied. It's just a theory.
Yeah,
But nobody's taking that bait right now, so kind of moot.
Curious if it wants us to take Jahmyr here. Oh no, well never mind.
It does not want you to take Jahmyr. It's saying Dowdle. Yeah. So let's just take Dowdle and then see what it says.
We have all these tools and dance theories and bounded rationality, and meanwhile the guy's just on the shitter taking a dump right now, like does not care.
I did a literal shitter team. So I maxed out the Deposit Kingdom one because he was saying, we don't want it to underfill. So I maxed it out and I was like, on principle, I'm doing these all by hand, no computer. It wants Tyrone Tracy. So it wants to do a double.
Did you drop him, by the way?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I'm not out on Swift, but he does project a couple points worse, so you're just not going to get him that often.
Yeah.
Who are they playing? The Lions?
It's
yes.
Yeah.
Underdog now, or ETR now, is not even making you do the step from converting their rankings to converting their projections to Underdog rankings. They're now just doing straight NBA Underdog Battle Royale rankings. So the 60% of the field that is just creating their rankings off of Underdog projections, now they don't even have to do that. They just download CSV. I'm going to auto draft off them tonight. We'll see if I win.
Somebody asked, do I ever auto draft? I didn't experiment with NBA. I did some auto drafting there. I would like auto draft a few and then look at my exposures and make some adjustments. Yeah, and do it again and recompute. So I was running my whole sim and then using that as a basis and then tweaking it a few times. I actually made a little money that slate. Okay, now, yeah. You are
off then Laporta.
Yeah, you are fucking printing according to the computer now. Take Goff.
Wow.
Yeah, you are absolutely shipping it for whatever reason. And it wants you to go ahead and take Laporta also.
Keep it going.
It loves this line.
I'm gonna end up with a bazillion.
Oh, you didn't take Laporta, dude.
No, he's good.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the turn, brother.
Oh, you were talking about the turn pick. Okay.
So I'll tell you, this is by far the highest rated EV lineup. What do you think the dollar amount is?
$14.54.
By far, I want to go 17.
$25.44.
Wow.
Now the reason is,
shut the stream down. You don't even need to stream anymore, Davis.
So this
can't even make that an ad revenue.
It started out not great. So when I was picking the first two picks, it was like, after the two wide receivers were picked, it was like, But then when you got to pick both decent running back picks, it was like around $12 or $13. And then when it happened that you could also get Goff and Laporta together, like that was, according to the computer, was a bit of an outlier outcome.
And that's like falling, good players falling, essentially, right, Dan?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
A good players and a good combo for the rest of what you had too. So
yeah,
pretty sweet. I have time to do one more, then I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah. The Sims do know. Yeah, we manually adjusted his projection down, so it does know.
Actually, that's kind of true.
Yeah. And his projection, I already looked, it is lower than it was last week. Either Here's okay. You guys want to know? I'll give away this alpha. We're an hour and 50 minutes into the stream. Emmanuel Wilson is injured. Chris Brooks is going to be the running back 2 for the Packers. The Packers could very easily blow out the Miami Dolphins this week, like very, very easily. Chris Brooks could get 11 rushes in the second half and score 2 touchdowns. I mean, I would say he probably should be drafted in 0.03% of turkey drafts and will be drafted in 0.00%. So do with that information what you will. We crowbarred it into making us let us take Gibbs.
How much was that lineup? $22, Dan?
Yeah.
25 something.
25. So to answer this question, in 2008, he could have about 25 McDoubles. Think about that.
Yeah, but then you need the $80,000 for the coronary bypass required.
They didn't have that back then.
Don't you know about the guy who's eating a Big Mac every day for like 50 years? He's like skinny.
Yeah, sure.
He was in
I'd be skinny too. I'd be like, God, I don't want to eat anymore.
That does happen.
Brian's not even secretly a Trekkie. He just is a Trekkie.
I love Star Trek. Yeah,
Star
just
Trek
the right Trek. Like Next Generation, of course. Deep Space Nine
does not make me feel good about Tua. All right.
Oh, okay. So interesting. What?
It's going to be Montgomery.
Yeah, it's mixing a lot, but Demon is winning by a bit. Yeah, Demon is the winner. Demon still winning. Demon.
What about when RFK banned seed oils and it's back to beef tallow?
Here's the thing, man. They made this dude eat McDonald's. I know you saw that picture.
I saw that picture, but he has like a face on it.
Nothing could be more representative of what RFK's role is going to be in the government than his first act with Donald Trump and him having to eat McDonald's. Like that
I bet he didn't
symbolic,
eat
bro.
any of that shit.
So now,
is it like Neighbors or Reed?
No, it likes Jonnu Smith.
Send it, Jonnu. That was RFK's humiliation ritual.
So it was Jonnu, Neighbors, and more at the end there.
Yeah.
Those
Neighbors is a really tricky one. You could argue anywhere from he should be the first overall pick in this because he's like had the highest ceiling. He's had the highest ceiling of any player in this whole contest other than Achane. And you could also argue he just like literally shouldn't be picked because his quarterback situation is so brutal.
Homeboy who did this documentary passed away, unfortunately. Not too long
likes
ago.
Chicago players. It likes Rome. It likes DJ Moore, Watson.
It has not suggested Rome to us once yet.
Yeah, it's a little lower. It might be an aberration, but you can grab them. I don't know.
We'll do DJ Moore.
Okay.
More. You know about Morgan Spurlock? He's like a total weirdo.
Yeah, this is true. He had alcoholism, but he's still dead.
Yes,
that was my point.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah, it used to be real food.
Yep.
Okay, no,
so
you can
Caleb?
take.
It doesn't. Everyone else has a quarterback, so we
don't need a. It's not suggesting quarterback correctly. It's saying Watson, Allen, Rome.
Or you could do the Chicago double with Caleb on the comeback.
Let's do Rome. No, let's do Rome. That's max fun. Rome, then Caleb.
Yeah, this will just be a fun one.
Yeah. It does not hate this, I don't think. I'm going to let it cook fully on the quarterback to get a good estimate.
I feel like the
thinks you're profitable actually with this lineup.
All right.
Just a little bit.
And I assume it doesn't have like a crazy projection on Rome. Like it thinks Rome is like a 9-point wide receiver or whatever.
Let me see what the average is for my projections. And these are FanDuel numbers, not underdogs. So Rome Yeah, Roman only has 7.3 average.
Well, you'll know right away how you're doing, Davis, in this lineup.
I do like that. Am I
Uh,
allowed to late swap?
No.
Negative. So the final estimate is
You think swapping out Jonas Smith's going to save you? This lineup is bad.
$4.38. So they look pretty close to par. You know what I should do? I should do the average EV by position at EQ. That'd be a good number to see. I don't have that. My take is that drafting third and fourth is where the money is in this one. Yeah.
Until Devin Achane breaks the slate.
Yeah.
Well, but with no ADP, you know, you're gonna get without ADP, you're gonna get a far higher occurrence of weird stuff like that than with it.
Well, somebody was posting earlier too, like the top 3 running backs, once projections stabilize, are probably going to be pretty close, like between Achane, Jacobs, and for God's sakes, Gibbs. They're going to be close enough that like can just roll with whatever. Well, I got to go, gentlemen. I have prior engagement, but this was fun.
Okay.
All right, sweet.
Don't spend
Happy Thanksgiving if we don't see you.
You too. Don't spend the Slansky bucks all in one place.
Yep. Words of advice, Davis.
Well, Brian is going to spend them all on Madden Ultimate Team.
I am not spending a penny.
Oh, come on. Don't you want to get... There's got to be like a sick 98 overall Caleb Williams card.
I kind of wanted Boomer size. And
all right, see you.
Exactly. Bye, Dan.
See you, Dan.
Brian, do you want to draft a couple more fun ones without the computer? Or do you want to get out of here?
Probably get out of here. Do you want to do a Patreon really quick?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, guys, we are going to get out of here. We're going to go record a bonus episode of the TakeCast. If you want to record that, you can find that on patreon.com/DavisMattic. I'll be back with more Thanksgiving content and all the week 13 stuff as needed. Have a great day, everybody. It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated.